Welcome, sixth graders, to your reading of Out of the Dust. A couple things that you should be annotating for while I read. Obviously, your central idea. Every paragraph or few paragraphs, you're going to complete the stop and jots that are written in there. Annotate for character traits and important details about characters. Just annotate for any other inferences, predictions, or questions you have. And then most importantly, because we're learning about what it was like to live during the Dust Bowl, annotate for any ways that you see the setting impact the people who live there. So I know that if there's a moment where there's dust that blows into my character's eye and it really blocks her being able to see and causes her pain, I'm going to annotate for that because that's the setting, the dusty setting, impacting a person. So please follow along while I read. I'm not going to be stopping at any point to show you what to stop and jot. You should be pausing the video on your own. The first poem is Beginning, August 1920. As summer wheat came ripe, so did I. Born at home on the kitchen floor, Ma crouched, barefoot, bare-bottomed over the swept boards, because that's where Daddy said it'd be best. I came too fast for the doctor, bawling as soon as Daddy wiped his hand around inside my mouth. To hear Ma tell it, I hollered myself red the day I was born. Red's the color I've stayed ever since. Daddy named me Billy Joe. He wanted a boy. Instead, he got a long-legged girl with a wide mouth and cheekbones like bicycle handles. He got a red-headed, heckled-faced, narrow-hipped girl with a fondness for apples and a hunger for playing fierce piano. From the earliest I can remember, I've been restless in this little panhandle shack we call home, always getting in Ma's way with my pointy elbows, my fidgety legs. By the summer I turned 9, Daddy had given up about having a boy. He tried making me do. I look just like him. I can handle myself almost everywhere he puts me, even on the tractor, though I don't like that much. Ma tried having other babies, but it never seemed to go right except with me. But this morning, Ma let on as how she's expecting again. Other than the three of us, there's not much family to speak of. Daddy, the only Kelby boy left since Grandpa died from a cancer that ate up most of his skin, and Aunt Ellis, almost 14 years older than Daddy, and living in Lubbock, a ways south of here, and a whole world apart to hear Daddy tell it. And Ma with only great Uncle Floyd, old as ancient Indian bones and mean as a rattler, rotting away in that room down in Dallas. I'll be nearly 14, just like Aunt Ellis was when Daddy was born, by the time this baby comes. Wonder if Daddy'll get a boy this time. January 1934, Rabbit Battles. Mr. Noble and Mr. Romney have a bet going. It all started at the rabbit drive last Monday over to Sturgis, when Mr. Noble got himself worked up about the damage done to his crop by jacks. Jacks are rabbits. Mr. Romney swore he'd had more rabbit trouble than anyone in Cimarron County. They pledged revenge on the rabbit population, wagering who could kill more of them. They ought to just shut up betting on how many rabbits they can kill. Honestly, grown men clubbing bunnies to death makes me sick to my stomach. I know rabbits eat what they shouldn't, especially this time of year when they can hop halfway to Liberal and still not find food. But Miss Freeland says if we keep plowing under the stuff they ought to be eating, what are they supposed to do? Mr. Noble and Mr. Romney came home from Sturgis Monday with 20 rabbits apiece. A tie. It should have stopped there, but Mr. Romney wasn't satisfied. He said, Noble cheated. He brought in rabbits somebody else killed. And so then the contest goes on. Those men, they used to be friends. Now they can't be civil with each other. They scowl as they pass on the street. I'm scowling too, but scowling won't bring the rabbits back. They're all skinned and cooked and eaten by now. At least they didn't end up in Romney and Noble's cookpots. They went to families that needed the meat. January 1934. Losing Livy. Livy Killian moved away. I didn't want her to go. We'd been friends since first grade. The farewell party was Thursday night at the Old Rock Schoolhouse. Livy had something to tease from each of us about, like Ray sleeping through reading class, and Hillary, who on her speed writing test put even ton of children instead of even 10. Livy said goodbye to each of us, separately. She gave me a picture she'd made of me sitting in front of a piano wearing my straw hat, an apple halfway to my mouth. I handed Livy the memory book we'd all filled with our different slants. I couldn't get the muscles in my throat relaxed enough to tell her how much I'd miss her. Livy cleaned up her own party, wiping spilled lemonade, gathering sandwich crusts, sweeping cookie crumbs from the floor, while the rest of us went home to study for semester reviews. Now Livy's gone west, out of the dust, on her way to California, where the wind takes a rest sometimes. And I'm wondering what kind of friend I am, wanting my feet on that road to another place instead of Livy's. Make sure that you complete all of those stop and jots. Go ahead, read through this again. Make sure you've annotated for everything.